Well, it kind of begins in the funniest way on the city of Cambridge side. We have a wonderful former city councilor and mayor, Al Vellucci, who was my mentor, uh, who he was a big idea guy, I will call him that. Although he didn't graduate from high school until he was well up in his 60s. He went to Community Learning Center and got a GED. But um, Al liked to be kind of a prankster and a trickster with Harvard and with MIT. So he would threaten at various times to pave over Harvard Square or Harvard Yard, or, they should pay taxes. And he would kind of have his own critique. And in that way, he exercised a fair amount of influence with Harvard, particularly. With MIT, he kind of got into this interesting question about, well, what exactly are they doing in all these labs, and particularly labs with animals, or are petri dishes producing three-headed people, or that kind of thing, and of course the scientific community got a little concerned that nobody has really asked this, but Al, in an attempt to answer his own question, he got involved with understanding about the National Institutes of Health and how much money they give for research and how much disproportionately MIT gets. And so I can't tell you exactly how he made this leap, but he got the Cambridge City Council to adopt the research standards produced by the National Institutes of Health. And this really gave scientists both here and from elsewhere the first place that they knew what the rules were. And this began to attract various researchers here, and then companies. And then MIT literally has a very intimate relationship with the National Institutes of Health. And they, I said before, disproportionately receive funding that way. And in fact, MIT determines how many graduate students it's going to have in the sciences, largely based on what the research funding is from NIH. And then that research often walks across the street to a for-profit uh, uh, company founded by the MIT professor who worked on the NIH grant. And it turns out that this is very much in the DNA of MIT. At Harvard, it would just be unthinkable prior to now. Harvard has changed its thinking that you would mix for-profit science with pure science. Well, at MIT, that's been good always, and hence it really is in the DNA here. And so that has caused so many different companies to be spun off from work done at MIT.